All right, a little bit talking about this kiln build that started here. Basically, this is going out my garden shed. This is a hot box, and a little bit of information about what's going inside the box. Basically, this is where the entryway will be into the from the shed into the inside of the box, and the box is going to be made out of 2x4 framing, and the inside box will have 1 inch foam on there. I figured it for 1.5 inch foam. So either one you should get along with fine. Um, this is where the stack of wood is stickered. It's 24 by 47. That's the maximum width of my resaw sled. And so these are 4 2x4s that are bolted to the floor. They're 2 foot long, and they're basically screwed to the floor through that. Inside the box, I have a piece of foam on the floor, and these slots right here are cut into it. And so this rests on the plywood, and then the rest of the floor is covered with a piece of foam. The sidewalls are all 1 inch foam, and then the roof is a 1 inch foam, and then the door is 1 inch foam. Inside the box is 2 box fans. They're about 20 by 20, and then dehumidifier that I've set up on this battery case. It's about in the middle of it. There's a Duramax electric heater that shoots air down into here, and then of course all my cords are routed out right through here. They hit the contactor switch up here on the outside there. I got the kiln up to 120 degrees yesterday and then quit. Um, and then going back after it today after I get back out of my meetings. This is the contactor switch. This basically allows me to run a 1500 watt electric heater off of my heat controller. And the heat controller is only rated at 1100 watts. So this basically would burn it up if I was to leave it on there. It runs on 750, but I thought, well, I may need some extra heat. And so I went with a 750. And basically, this is just a contactor like goes in your air conditioner, part of your furnace system. Anyway, this contactor turns on the compressor motors. And what that does is that we come in from the electricity, it hits the contactor. And then one of the leads goes over and powers the switch. And then on the other side of this, it goes over and powers the cord that the Durham heat fan's plugged into. And the switch is programmable. It's got an LED readout, so it makes being able to monitor inside it works good. The dehumidifier that's in the circuit, it's not really in the circuit, it's just in there, and I'll be using it for other phases of the deal. Let's go over here and look at the front view whenever you open the box and kind of look in it. Basically, it's 2x4 framed with a wall panel that's sitting on top of it, and the wall panel has a 3/4 inch piece of tongue and groove chipboard for the shelf. And these are 2x4 walls. This is all just standard wall panels, and this is designed to hold weight for some of my stuff that's inside the shed, so that I don't lose all my room. And I try to keep my box at a 48-inch height, so I didn't have to cut the edges off the foam, so that would be nice and tight and neat. And then there's of course your regular wall panels. And then this is the part of the roof right here that's at the top. Your dimensions, it's very simple wall panels, kind of shows where the foam will fit inside that. And these, of course, are over top the wall panels. And then we go over here to material list and the side view. We'll go ahead and highlight that. This is the top panel we just looked at over here. This is blocking for the foam panels so that you can screw them in and not have any problems with it. This is all 2x4 framing. And these are blockers as well, so that the foam, you can screw, the fender washers and the screws into the foam, the top. And then this is a door that's made out of the same foam. And then on top of that, I've laminated 2 sheets that are standing vertical side by side. So because they're a little taller than a 4-foot section, and a 1/4 inch floor underlayment, so it's like a birch type plywood. And then this is, of course, is the sheet and the cutoff list. Gives you basically the material list for the top, the sides. There's 2 sides, and then your sticker supports that are down on the bottom that your wood sits on. And then fender washers, screws for the foam, framing screws, 100 of them. And then, all the framings are 2x4s, and I needed 15 of them. and then two 20 by 20 box fans. One Duramax 1500 watt heater goes to 140 degrees. I haven't verified that, but I was told that's what it was. It's not in the documentation, so I'll probably figure that out a little later on today. Then the one contactor outlet cords in a box goes on the corner, and one heat controller that the fan's plugged into that gives me the temperature reading, and it's up on the outside of the box so I can see what's going on inside the box with the strip, power strip, and then 6 sheets of the white foam. It's 1 inch and has aluminum backing, which is all faced to the inside for vapor barrier. And then the door gets 2 pieces of the 1/4 inch underlayment glued onto that. And that's pretty much that. This is a file that's available on my website, and there's a link to download this, be down in the directions of it, so in a PDF format. Anyway, so let's go back and go outside and have a look at it. All right, a few things on the agenda here. I've got a dehumidifier that I picked up. I'm building a kiln, and I bought one of these Duramax heaters. The advantage of this heater is the fan still blows even though the heat setting's off, so the fan just blows all the time, which is a plus. And they say I may not need this controller for this fan because it turns off about 140 degrees either way. So I may not really have needed that. It's $20, $25 or so. But anyway, this is 1500 watts. So that means that this would burn this up if I switched off of 750 and went to 1500, because this will take 1100 watts. So I needed something between this and this, so that was less than 1100 watts. So that's why I built this right here. This is just a furnace contactor, and basically power comes in from the wall and it hits this with a cord. It comes in here, and one side of it goes over to the contactor to feed the hot side, and when it's contacted, it goes out and it feeds this, and it bypasses this. So, but this controls that, and basically there's a cord that comes out of here that plugs into this thermal switch, which is on the heat cycle. So when this sends electricity, it fires back here on this little 5-watt contactor, and it energizes it. So then it turns the 110 20 amp service to the heater, and then so one side is just like normal electricity, the other side is the switched to the fan. So on the plugs I have switched, and then I have back to the wall outlet. So that's kind of what we have there. So all working good, and we're set. And then of course I did tag these to plug into the controller, and this one here says plug into house outlet. So that's what that does. I've got to build a box that'll go around it, probably about 6.5, 7 by 7 maybe, and I'll build that box and have that part of it inside the kiln. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing with that. All right, I'm gonna take some stuff out to the new kiln out there while I go down there and get my paperwork, and need to cut some 204s for the deal and a piece of foam. But anyway, there's my Duramax heater, 2 box fans, and a dehumidifier, and the contactor switch with a controller switch. And getting ready to put this shop back together, put my resaw table back up, and store it. Put my big bandsaw back over in the corner. I just pretty much don't use it too much unless I'm ripping a big old piece of oak or something. Everything else is, I've got another little bandsaw over here that little 12-incher that does pretty much what I need to do as far as bandsawing goes. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting my shop back. It's been out like this for like 3 weeks, so been in the lumberman mode, and looking forward to getting that back together. I did bring up some of this stuff here from down in the new shed, the other shed, to rip into stickers. So I'll get that done. I've got to rip a 2x4 over in the corner and 2-foot long links so that I can put some sticker boards down. So let me get that done and go down the shed and get some stuff. Yeah, that's the 5th or 6th barrel. I can't remember. So she was starting to spit some sawdust out on the ground. So I thought, okay, you can hear it rattling around up there. So I thought, okay, I hear you. And let me go dump that. All right, I cut these all the same length. That's the measurement of a 4-foot sticker. It's 2 feet wide, and they're just like, inch and a half, 2 inches in from the insides of a 4-foot. So there's like a 1-inch overhang on the 4-foots. And so yeah, I countersink the screw in there. Put about a 3-inch screw in there. So they're holding that down in there. They're in there like that on edge. And if there's an issue there, I'll have to put a little kickboard or something on the side of it, or run a little bit heavier screw, longer screw down to it maybe, and to a joist. But I think they're probably going to ride just fine. All right, I'm going to hit it with a little tape and seal it up around the sides. And there we go. I saw on YouTube one of the guys doing this, and it's a really good idea for those inside corners for taping. You just fold it down the middle and pull the part off on the outside so you can stick it in the corner. Does a good job of keeping it straight. Alright, that's kind of what I got set up so far. 2 fans are running. Got the humidifier set up on a bucket, so I'll get a little more drainage on the pipe. I'm going to poke a hole through the wall and run it outside here right now. So get that done. There's my Duramax heater in there, and I may put that up on a shelf. I don't know, I might just leave it where it's at. And I got to get the thermometer head set up in there. Anyway, there it is running. Alright, I put the temperature sensor in about midway in the middle of the box. Upon my drain hose straight out the wall there on the back of there. Then sealed this up with a little foil tape. It's not 100% sealed up, but it's getting pretty close to it. Then I had a bunch of chipboard scraps, so I cut them into stickers, 24 inches, so that's what's all them in between them 2 befores with the holes in them. They're just stickers laying in there. My 2 fans are in there, and I'm going to run a test here in just a little bit. I'm going to put a piece of foam over the face of this, and there we go. I'm going to probably put a piece of plywood over the top of that foam, but I'm going to go ahead and put that up there right now. Alright, got that set at 69.8, and the heat's sitting at 69. It was 47 degrees in there about 2 minutes ago. So it's warming up in there really nice. It should click off here in just a second. There we go. Hit the capacitor, so that turned the heat off. So we'll just see how long she stays there. I do have the humidifier going on in there. I'm going to go ahead and crank it all the way up to 120 degrees just to see what happens. So let me crank the button up here. Alright, got it set at it's now dropping a little bit on the temperatures. I have it set for 131 degrees. The contactor just kicked in right there. I need to put a box over that because that's 110 on that contactor. So I'm then gonna make a trip up to Lowe's and make one. My machine's all put away, so either do that or make one pretty quick to cover that up. Anyway, so this thing should start rising up to 672. It's 131, and it says the capacity is 134, 128 degrees. So we'll just kind of watch it, see what it's going to do. And it's in heating mode there. So inside there, so thermometer should get up to 131, should kick off. Then I'll take it up to 140. That will kill bugs. Well, that's cooking. All right, I had a alarm. What do you call the thing? It's an error code 98H high temperature alarm. It was set at I don't know, it was 95 or something like that. Anyway, so of course bumped that up to my 130 or my 120. No, 140. Bumped this up to 140 on my error code. I've set this to 130, and now it's bypassed what it was doing there before. So she's heating up. So it's 101 degrees inside this box right now, which is nice and warm. And I can't really feel any heat on this outside this box. I mean, you know, as soon as you put your hand up against that foam, it automatically reflects your heat back, but I can't really feel anything on it. So just hope this thing will get up to 120 with what I've got in it. And it's going around feeling for any air or anything coming out of it. And it's pretty tight. So it's all aluminum foiled inside and going good. So we'll see how long that takes that little heater to get that up to. We'll see if it by 1500, the 750 setting. I may have to bump it up to the higher setting. Of course, I'll do that whenever I got a bunch of wood in there. Right now, all I have is just those stickers in there. So when it's set it, see if I can get it to 130 inside and see how it behaves, and then do that. The only thing I got to do to finish this is put me a couple pieces of plywood on there, and I'll be good to go. All right, there we are, 113 degrees in there, still climbing. We got a max to shut off at 130, and I don't know, that's only running on 750 watts in there, so we'll see what she's doing. I'm just kind of watching it.